Since when do mountain trolls venture this far south?
Not for an age. Not since a darker power ruled these lands. They could not have moved in daylight.
There must be a cave nearby.
The wisdom of Gandalf is seldom incorrect, and surely enough, the company stumbled across the Troll's Hoard in this hidden trove of goods stolen from unwary adventurers and raided caravans. Who knew what wonders may be found?
Oh, what's that stench?
It's a troll hoard. Be careful what you touch.
Seems a shame just to leave it lying around. Anyone could take it.
LEGO The Hobbit playthrough. Oops, my speakers are on. And by playthrough, I mean walkthrough. Wow, I'm getting into the playthrough habit. Anyway, LEGO The Hobbit walkthrough part 4, and this is going to be that level where you have to get your swords and weapons from the troll cave, and then later on you're going to have to run away from a bunch of orcs that are hunting you down, and that is what will eventually lead you into Rivendell. Now, most of this level is pretty straightforward, but this part can be a little bit confusing and brings up one of the annoyances in this game that I had, which is the difficulty of switching between characters sometimes, or the refusal of some characters to follow you. And you'll see what I mean near the end of this section. So there's about 4 or 5 parts to this level, actually, and it's like a 20-minute level, 21-minute level, and that's with all the edits, so it probably took me around 30 minutes to actually do this stupid level, and it's just, it's so long, and there's so many parts that I kind of felt didn't need to be added in. But, you know, it is a game, and games need to be lengthy, so I'm not really complaining. I just kind of felt it wasn't that necessary, but oh well. The game, I mean, for The Hobbit, this one also only has 2 of the movies in, because the 3rd one isn't out yet, and they're planning on releasing the 3rd movie as DLC, which I will of course be recording that. I think it depends when it comes out, and then, that's, I mean, it's a good way to do it. First time DLC, I mean, of course they're going to charge you $50, and then probably charge you $20 for the DLC, so there you go. The other interesting thing I thought about the way they decided to do their final movie was that LEGO Pirates of the Caribbean had all 4 Pirates of the Caribbean movie movies before the fourth one on Stranger Tides was actually released, so I'm kind of confused as to why that one wasn't a problem, but this one was. Maybe just differences in publishers, because it was Disney for Pirates and Warner Brothers. I think it's Warner Brothers for this one. Actually, I don't know who publishes Lord of the Rings. Well, they're different from Disney, I think. I'm pretty sure they're different. But if I had to guess, it's probably because they're using the voices from the movies, and that would be a pretty big giveaway from the movie if they put it in the LEGO game, so it makes sense. Anyway, down here you need to look for 3 different chests and open them with various characters so you can actually get the weapon that the people need. So the first one is Gandalf, and you'll get his sword Glamdring, and then you'll get Sting for Bilbo once you build up the staircase and get on this platform up here. And then you will get, I think the sword's name is Orcris or something like that, Thorin, and his is the final sword. Once you're going around here, you are going to want to pick up as many fish and carrots as you can, and as you see, I went back to get those. You don't want to think, oh, I don't need them. You are going to want to pick up as many of those loot items as you need, or as you see. And the reason is right here, because you're going to have to fill, what's his name? I think he's Beaufort or Bomber, one of those two, but you're going to have to fill him with food, and you're going to need breadsticks, carrots, and fish, and I'm 1 carrot short, which is kind of annoying, but if you're missing one, just look around the area, you should be able to see it. I think the carrot I needed ended up being to the left of here. But just destroy everything if you need one. There's a fish back there that was waiting for me. And always, always, always pick them up. And if you do that, you'll be fine. If you don't do it, then you're going to be looking around for them a lot. But there's a bunch of carrots right here in this box. And once you do fill up the fat dwarf, you will be able to bounce on his stomach. And then you can get on top of that platform and set up the ladder so you can get the guy with the grapple up here. And this part was a little bit weird to me because the guy with the grapple was all the way over to the left, and for some weird reason was just kinda, I don't know what he was doing. But anyway, before you do that, you're gonna need to set up the grapple point. So just break the spider webs and build this, and now you have to go and find him. So if you played as him at the beginning, he may be following you, but in my case, he was not following me, so I had to go all the way over here, and there he is. You can kind of see him over there to the left side, hiding in that pit there, and I switched to him now, there we go. And then you can come back over here to the right, so you can swing over to the left ledge. And I was really surprised here that they gave you a ladder on that left ledge. I thought for sure they were going to make Thorin swing on this guy to get to the other side, but I guess Traveler's Tales has a heart sometimes when it comes to oddly annoying tasks. So just swing over here, knock down the ladder. Oh yeah, that's right. This is a really weird jump because I jumped there. I actually did, but I hit like a stalactite or a stalagmite or whatever it is, and like I don't know what I'm hitting there. I hit either the pointy thing from the ceiling or I'm hitting a wall or I don't know what, but I ended up having to kind of jump outward or inward toward the screen, like toward me. I kind of had to jump toward me and then go back quickly so I could actually get on that stupid platform. So watch out for that when you play it. And then of course that dwarf is going to choose to go through the tunnel here instead of just falling off the cliffside, or I guess whatever you want to call it, the ledge. And then once he does that, you can go up there with Thorin and get his sword.
Let's get out of this foul place. Come on, let's go. Something's coming!
Arm yourselves!
Thieves! Fire! Murder!
Radagast! What on earth are you doing here?
I was looking for you, Gandalf. Something's wrong.
Was that a wolf? Are there wolves out there?
Wolves? No, that is not a wolf.
This is going to be the last section of this level that I'm going to be narrating, just because the parts afterwards are extremely straightforward, and the very last part's actually a whole lot of fun because you get to use the rabbits. Or you get to use Radagast's rabbits. But before you can use his rabbits, you need to free the rabbits that are stuck in this weird stasis here. And to do that, you need to switch to Radagast, and then use his magical crystal on top of his staff to suck out the darkness that is inside them. And the first two are really easy because they're just kind of laying in the ground there, and if you can't find one, you'll probably want to check the wards' mouths, so those old things. Check their mouths, because they may have a rabbit in them, and if you just whack the wolf, then it frees the rabbit. So the other three rabbits are going to be a little bit more complicated. One of them is going to require you building a sort of a platform that can raise and lower. Okay, well, I guess the last two are complicated because the third one was just sitting right there. Forgot about that. The other two, you're going to need to get to one of the wards on top of that ledge to the left there. You need to get up there and scare him off because he has a rabbit in his mouth. And the other one will just be on top of a ledge that's kind of over to the right. Now, if you had someone with an arrow here, you would be able to shoot that target, but that's probably a free play deal type thing. Not something you could do here in story mode. So right here is the platform that you'll need to use to build the objects, and if you've been collecting things like I'm suggesting you to do pretty much in every one of these videos, you shouldn't have too much of a problem finishing that, but I did not follow my own advice and I ran out of planks. So if you're ever running out of planks, just find a bush and destroy it. For some reason the planks are inside the bushes. That doesn't really make sense to me, but maybe it's Minecraft logic, who knows. And once you get enough of those, then you can go and build the platform that you need to. And after that is something that is a little bit humorous, because I was having a really hard time trying to move that block over to the left so I could jump up on that ledge where that wolf is. And I was whacking it and whacking it and whacking it and whacking it, and nothing was happening, so I thought I had to do something else to the block, but of course it turned out I was just using the dwarf with a staff and not with a hammer. So if you're hitting it all the time and nothing happens, make sure you're using a dwarf with a hammer and not with a staff that looks a little bit like a hammer. And it's just really annoying sometimes. I don't know why the dwarves can't just headbutt it and then it gets flown over there. But once you build this Lego object here, you'll be able to raise it up to the rabbit that is in the trees, and you don't actually have to have anybody on top of the platform. I thought that you needed to, when I played this, I thought that you needed to use Radagast to stand on the platform, then use a dwarf to crank the platform up. That way you can, I don't know what I was doing there. Anyway, that way you would be able to use Radagast to free the rabbit from the tree, but actually when you move the platform, then, see, if I had kept going I would have seen this, but I thought that I would need Radagast. Anyway, if you keep moving the platform, then it'll get the rabbit up off of the tree, it'll get it down from the tree, and then you can just switch to Radagast and cleanse the rabbit on the ground. So I was a little bit confused when I started to do this, and then Radagast, I think he jumps off here. Maybe he doesn't. Thought he did. But anyway, there's the rabbit on the platform. And then the switching thing. For some reason, it decided to switch me to Gandalf, which is all the way on the other side of the map, instead of Radagast, which is 2 inches to my left. So I don't really understand with some of the glitches in this game. Anyway, for the final thing, for the final rabbit, just once again switch to a guy with a hammer, and then this guy, the other guy, who looks like he has a hammer, apparently doesn't have a hammer anyway, you have to be this big bald guy with the hammer, and then you can knock off the final wolf and free the rabbit out of his mouth, cleanse it, and then do the final parts of the level while watching the
That is not from the world of the living. The greenwood is safe, Gandalf. A darkness has fallen over it. But worse are the webs.
Webs? What do you mean?
Spiders, Gandalf. They came from Dol Guldur.
But the old fortress is abandoned.
No, Gandalf. It is not. A dark power dwells in there. It is the shadow of an ancient horror. One that can summon the spirits of the dead. Necromancer has come. We have to get out of here. I'll throw them off.
These are Gundabad wargs. They will outrun you.
These are Roscabel rabbits. I'd like to see them try.
This way, you fools!
Come on, move! Quickly, all of you! Go, go, go!
Elves, this was your plan all along.